All right, so alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Let's get started. Okay, so we're completely done with this first part, right?
Yes.
Any questions here? Okay, cool. Let's get started with the second part. Maham, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, sure. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Should I just read it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. وقد أكرم الله تعالى قريشا بنعمتين آه، عي آه، أو عظيمتين من نعمه
Yeah, ni'amihi.
نع... نعمه الكثيرة هما.
Okay, good. What does that mean?
It means certainly Allah Ta'ala honored the Quraysh with two blessings from his many blessings.
Okay,
How many
good.
they are.
Zain?
Um, keep going or do the
Yeah.
okay. Uh, هما نعمة نعمة الأمن
Uh-huh. Amni. Yep.
أمني والاستقرار
Yeah, it's gonna be istiqrar.
استقراري um, ونعمة
What's on the
الأغنى.
what's the state of ni'mah?
So I thought this was uh, I thought this was still in jar because it's a badal back to the earlier ni'mah. Um, Brother Omar, was his name Brother Omar, I think? Yeah, Brother
Yep.
Omar taught us, or maybe you had already taught us like badal of like badal minal kul or something, like
Mm-hmm.
badal of parts.
Kul min al-kul.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
kul min al-kul is full substitution. Ba'd min al-kul is partial substitution.
okay. Uh, so I thought the ending would have a kasra because it's pointing back to that earlier one.
Okay, that's what Brother Omar said, or
No, no, he didn't say that. I'm just saying I tried to use that and applied it to the
what he mentioned. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll just put a you put a fatha here though. So did you mean put a kasra here? We'll just go with that for now, and then we'll go back to it.
because I don't think it's غير منصرف. So that was my thought.
Yeah, it's not very much. Can continue. ونعمة
نعمة الأغني
uh-uh. There's no hamza. You said aghni. There would be a hamza right here.
أو غني
This would be ghina.
أو غناء okay. Um, وال واليساري
Okay, good. And what does this mean?
um, they are blessing of security and stability
Uh-huh.
and the blessing of wealth and influence.
Yeah, so you said ghani earlier. Ghani means someone who is wealthy. Okay? Someone who is wealthy can also mean someone who is free. Right? So it means freedom and also wealth. If you think about it, they're closely intertwined because when you have a lot of wealth, you're oftentimes free from a lot of stresses and other things. Okay, cool. Uh, Maham, can you read until here?
Yeah. فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت.
Uh-huh. What does that mean?
So they worship the Lord of this house.
Uh-uh. It's not so they worship.
Um, is it like, oh, so let them worship or like t tell
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of
So this is what lamb is this right here? Fel. What's that? What's that lamb?
I forgot what it was called, but it's basically like the um yeah, I forgot what the name of it was.
Describe it to me. What does it do?
Um, it's like it's kind of like a not a command, but like let them or like let the doer do the action kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's actually called lam al-amr wa du'a. Okay. The lamb of command and making dua. Another way of interpreting is similar to what you're saying, which is like a strong request. Okay. So basically, they should worship, right? Or let them worship, right? So, and this is directly from the surah itself. So just quoting the surah. So because of all these blessings, they should worship the Lord of this house. Does
Okay.
this make sense?
Yeah. So was that one of the that's Jawazim, right? The fun.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And then Zane, can you finish it off?
Yeah. الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so I have it as the one who fed them, or the one who yeah, the one who fed them from hunger and made them safe from fear.
Very good. Very good. All right, Mohammed, tell me about, or actually, before we do that, any questions here? You all good? All right, so one more time. وقد أكرم الله تعالى قريشا بنعمتين عظيمتين من نعمه الكثيرة هما نعمة الأمن. So let's talk about this. While what you were saying makes sense, Zane, about this being badal, another way of interpreting it is that huma is here, right? So this is basically like a mubtada, right? Because what are you saying? You're saying they, and then immediately saying they are, right? So that means that they was the mubtada, and then ni'ma was the khabar.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So هما نعمة الأمن والاستقرار ونعمة الغنى واليسار. Okay, so this would be معطوف على نعمة الأولى, the first نعمة basically. Make sense? Okay. ونعمة الغنى واليسار فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. So this is just like a quotation, direct quotation from the surah itself, right? So remember, this is all a preface to the surah. Okay. Any questions? You all good? All right. Let's go with the ni'matayni. Maham.
This is ism majroor, and the sign is yeah.
Ni'ama. Zain.
Um, this one is the khabar,
This is
and
the. Okay. Good.
in the
Bait.
state of Rafa and sign is Dhamma.
الكثيرة Maham.
Sifa majroor kasra.
فمجرور كسرة. Okay. مجرور كسرة. مجرور كسرة. صفة what?
I said it was sifa to near me.
Ni'am.
or
Yeah,
ni'am.
there's a yeah.
Yeah, there's a fatha on the ayn. Okay.
But al-kathira is definite. Is ni'am definite?
Is it's like his bless. It has an attached he to it. So doesn't
So
that um so it can't be sifa.
I'm asking you, you tell me.
Oh,
So is ni'am definite? Was the question.
it's not.
You're saying it's not? Zayn, what do you think?
think I think this is that rule where if something is mudaf to something and it has alif lam, like if the thing that it's mudaf to is definite, then this is also definite.
What do you think, Mom?
Yeah, that's what was my original thought.
Okay, then your original thought was correct. Very good. All right. Let's do Hada, Zayn.
Um, this one is ism majrur in the state of jar.
It's a majroor.
Oh, sorry, mudaf ilayh,
Uh-huh.
and it's in the state of jar, and the
Oh, very good.
sign, it's no
We're gonna
sign
talk
because of
about,
me. Yeah.
yep, good. Al-Bayt.
So this was badal, then majroor because it's copying the mudaf ilayh and then kasra.
Oh, guess so. رب هذا البيت. Sorry, can you say it one more time? Where was the rule?
I said badal because it comes after
بدل.
the
Good. الذي. Zayn.
Uh, um, I think this, so I have, it is badal to, um, badal back to Rob.
Um, okay. Mohammed, what do you think?
Yeah, I said the same thing to rabba badal. So it's nasab.
Okay. But why make it بدل? Why not صفة? Right? Because like you're not really doing like a substitution, right? You're not saying that the Lord is the
Well,
one. Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of was thinking it could take the place because you could say like, so let them worship the one that fed them and from hunger. Like it could take over the place of Lord.
While you're who? Yeah, I
But I
think
guess yeah,
both.
the of this house part, kind of could throw it off also.
Well, not exactly. Well, okay. So here's the thing. You guys are correct in the way you're thinking. Well, technically, like it could replace that. Um, but there isn't really like a strong reason to do that. Well, we can just say it's صفة, right? Because if you think about it, we're just describing Rabb, right? What is this Rabb or who is this Rabb? الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. We're not technically doing any sort of substitution. So if there's no reason for a substitution, then we should just go with the more general, stronger, or like more something that can be applied more generally, which is for Slippa. Does that make sense?
So would Sifa always take precedence in situations like this where it could technically be like a substitution, but it
It
could also.
wouldn't really be about precedence per se, even though I know I just phrased it that way. Um, there are more advanced rules about the Slippa and the Badal. But honestly, it's not something that you guys really have to worry about. As long as you just understand from context to context what makes more sense. And I think in this context, I think SIPA more generally applies because you're just adding a description to that. Shut
Okay.
Cool. Okay. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا. I think we already did this, honestly. So let's just skip this. We already did this when we were doing the actual surah itself. Okay, so let's study a new form. So far we've done form one, form two, form three, form four. So another form that you guys have been seeing a lot is form 5. Okay. So as normal, we're going to talk about the conjugation first, and then we'll talk about, its characteristics. So for the conjugation, we're going to do the sarf صغير. Okay. So let's write the sarf صغير. تحدث يتحدث تحدث 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 let's say تحدثا تحدثا متحدث 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 متحدث. Okay, so one more time. For the root letters, ha, da, da, it is تحدث, basically saying تفاعل, تحدث, يتحدث, تحدث, تحدثا, متحدث, متحدث. I'll give you guys a second. Let me know when you guys are ready. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's just talk about, you know, the identifiers, like I like to call them, right? Things that just pop out. There are two of them. What do you think they are? What do you guys see?
Before the first root letter.
Very good. And
The shadda.
the shadda. Okay. Okay. Notice we don't have a dhamma on the prefix, right? Like form 2 or form 4. Form 2 and form 4 for fi'al mudari', they had dhammas, right? Yuhaddithu and yuhdithu, right? Over here we still have a fatha. And that obviously stays. Another difference, another key thing to remember is the difference between amr, this is amr right here, and this is masdar. It's a very subtle difference. What is that difference? There's a fatha here, and there's a dhamma here.
Sorry, what's the sign on the ha or like the middle root letter for the last one?
The
Because
last one?
like
What,
for
this one?
for food. Yeah.
Sorry, that's the fatha.
Okay. So what's the difference between it's mutahaddathun and then
No, it's mutahad. Remember, so if
oh
you
it's
have, yeah, if the thing is under the shadda, then that's a kasra. Mutahaddithun and mutahaddathun. It's actually the same thing as what we've seen before, right? Mufassirun, mufassarun. Mufsirun, mufsarun. Muslimun, muslimun. The same thing, fatha kasra, like I mentioned earlier, that rule, if you remember. Any other questions? Okay. So let us now move on to the characteristics. So the major characteristic here is going to be reflexiveness. And just a reminder that these characteristics for these forms, they're not like a hard rule. They are what commonly happens, right? When you mutate the base verb, but it's not like a hard rule that these characteristics must exist. Like every single form five must have some sort of reflexiveness. That's not true. Okay, but most of the time it does. Okay, so for example, kasara means to break. What would the form five be of kasara?
تكسر.
Good. Anyone can guess what this means. What the kasara means?
Is it like to be broken?
Yeah, or to break, right? To break is can mean both, so I'm just gonna, yeah, to be broken. Um,
Wait, how is this different from passive? The passive tense that we learned with like when the verb is applied to oneself.
yeah, I'm trying to think of a good example here. It is different, but it's very subtle. It's it's yeah. So it's like doing the action to oneself, essentially, rather than the action being done to that the thing. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm like blanking on some good examples, but this is a common pattern that you see for form five. Once I think about some better examples, I'll show you guys. Um, okay, so let's do some conjugation practice real quick. So for here, I want you guys to give me the verticals. So this is fi'l maldi, right? Who can tell me the rest? So the haddatha, that's huwa, right? I want huma, hum, all the way down.
I can try. حدث تحدثا تحدثوا تحدثت تحدثتا تحدثنا تحدوا تحدما تحدم sorry
Careful.
تحدى تحدما تحدم تحدي تحدما تحدنا
Careful. Okay, so you're saying tahaddi. It's tahaddathi.
oh okay تحدثي
Yeah.
تحدثي
Uh-huh.
تحدثتما
Uh-huh.
تحدثتم تنا and then تحدثت تحدثنا.
Okay, very good. And Zain, can you do the same?
Fi'l madi.
Mhm.
Yep. تحدث تحدث تحدثا تحدثوا um, تحدثت تحد تحدثما
Careful.
تحد
Tahaddathat. What after that? يتحدثت هما.
يتحدثت هما تحدثتما no
No. You're going to entuma.
oh
This is huma.
تحدثتا
تحد تحدثتا.
okay هما تحدثتا
There you go.
and then هن تحدثنا
Good.
and then أنت تحدثتا أنتما تحدثتما
Careful here. So don't, you're kind of adding like a very small touch on the dal, or on the, sorry.
Oh,
Alhamdulillah.
so sorry. It should be anta tahaddathta.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Okay. أنت تحدثت أنتما تحدثتما أنتم تحدثتم أنت تحدثتي أنتما تحدثتما أنتن تحدثتن. And then أنا تحدثنا.
And
Sorry, تحدثت.
uh,
نحن تحدثنا.
okay, good. All right, I want you guys to spend 2 minutes practicing the فعل المضارع for this. Read it to each other, and then also do it for Sheen. I don't know, them, meme, and yeah, just do it for this, and then do it for this. Feel free to read to each other. Just act like this is a breakout room.
Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so there's يتحدث, يتحدثان, يتحدثون, and then تتحدث, تتحدثان, يتحد uh, يتحدثون or يتحدثن, and then
Wait, can you say the hia and the huma again, like going down for the feminine?
yeah, it's تتحدث, تتحدثان, um,
Okay.
يتحدثن. Yeah, right. Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's right. Yep.
yeah. There's like so many letters. And then for anta, it's يتحد or تتحدث, تتحدثان, تتحدثون, um, تتحدثين, تتحدثان, تتحدثن, and then أتحدث and نتحدث.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I can do the salama.
Okay.
Um, so and هو يتسلم. Um, هما يتسل هما يتسلمان. هم يتسل هم يتسلمون. And then أنتِ um, تتسلم. أنتما تتسل تتسلمان. And أنتن sorry. Am I mixing the root letter? Sorry.
Do you want
أنتن.
أنتم or أنتن?
Uh, let me
Or
just start the feminine. Let me just do the feminine ones.
okay, yeah.
أنتِ أنتِ تتسلم.
Mm-hmm.
أنتما تتسلمان. And أنتن تتسلمن. تتسلمن. Does that sound right?
Yeah. For auntie, it would you said that تتسلموا. Wouldn't it be تتسلمين? Because أنت would be تتسلموا, right?
Yeah. No, anta would be yatasallamu, right?
That would be hua,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
because all of the anta and anti conjugations have a da prefix.
yeah, you're right. But I'm pretty sure for fil mudari, you don't add an ending. The only thing you change for feminine is you make the ta at the start. Wasn't that a rule or something? Like here is the same as and one of the second person ones for fil mudari.
Yeah.
Like if you do fat like form one basic like fa'ala like um
It's
yaf'alani, yaf'aluna, and then taf'alu, right?
yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
for
for here
this,
it would be taf'alu, but then for anti it would be taf'alina.
oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, was I saying and was I doing? I
I
was trying
think
to
I think
do
yeah, I think you said the same thing for here and anti,
okay,
but yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Let me just okay. Let me just start at here,
Okay, okay.
finish here, huma, and hunna, and then I'll do second person.
Yeah.
So here tatasallamu,
Mhm.
huma tatasallamani. Um, and then hunna yatasal yatasallamna.
Mhm.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now second person. Anta um anta is that tatasallamu still? Or is it
Yeah. Sallam.
okay. Anta tatasallamu antuma tatasallamani antum tatasallamuna anti tatasallamina antuma tatasallamani and then antunna tatasal tatasallamna
Yeah. That's right.
and then ana um atasallamu and nahnu natasallamu.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds right.
There's a lot of I
Yeah, it's a
agree.
lot of letters compared to like the basic conjugations. But yeah.
Okay. Are we all done?
Yeah.
All right, let's do one pass and then we'll go from Maghrib. Mahal, you want to start us off?
Yeah, for Salama or for your two?
Sure, we'll do that.
Okay. Um, so it would be يتسلم يتسلمان يتسلمون تتسلم تتسلمان يتسلمن تتسلم تتسلمان أم، تتسلمون تتسلمين تتسلمان تتسلمن and then أتسلم and نتسلم.
What's the masdar? اسم فاعل اسم مفعول.
It would be تس تسلم um
What is
تسل
tasallam?
or تسل
Is that the
تسل
masdar or is
um oh, that was the fi'l amr. The
very
masdar
good?
would be the تسلما
Yeah, tasalluman. All right. And
and
then the
then
ism fa'il.
yes, in fact, it would be متسلم or متسلم and then
Mm-hmm.
متسلم.
Very good. Okay. Zain, go ahead.
Okay, same one, like same
Can you
letters.
do tahaddatha?
Yeah. Um, يتحدث يتحدثون ثاني يتحدثون أم، تتحدث تتحدثان آه، يتحدثن and then starting with أنت تتحدث تتحدثان تتحدثون تتحدثين آه، تتحدثان تتحدثن and then أتحدث and نتحدث.
Awesome. Very good. Any questions? Can you tell me the مصدر اسم فاعل and اسم مفعول?
مصدر would be uh, تحدثا
Uh-huh.
and then اسم اسم فاعل would be مت
موتى.
متحدث
Uh-huh.
and then اسم مفعول would be متحدث.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Cool. Let's go for Maghrib. Inshallah. Come back in like 5, 10 minutes. Does that sound good? All right. I'll see you guys soon.
Should we move to the next one?
Yeah. Wait, did we translate the whole thing? So it's like this surah, this is a Meccan surah, and it certainly speaks about um it speaks in brief about two groups from humankind. And they are, or Huma is like they.
Yeah. I I don't understand the role of waqad here. Like, is it adding emphasis? Is it a separation? Is it
It's just
like
emphasis.
indeed?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys see my screen notability or no? Or no?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
It says you're showing, but nothing was showing up. Um, the next line. So it's al-kafiru. I think it's khabar in this case, right? From Huma. So it would be kafiru.
The next word is al-jahid, right?
Yeah, after al-kafiru is al-jahid. That's like kafir is like disbeliever.
Yeah. I'm just trying to understand that phrase before. It probably is mubtada or something.
Yeah, I think Huma would be the mubtada from the previous line.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I-
then al-kafiru is the khabar.
yeah.
Um, al-jahidu, I'm thinking that's like
It's a sifa?
yeah.
What does juhud mean? Jahada yajhadu.
Um,
Does it come from jihad?
No, that's with a ha. This is
is
a
it like
ha.
like ungrateful or something
Not
along that?
ungrateful. It means to reject,
Oh, to
to
reject.
strongly reject.
So like the dis
Oh, that rejects the blessings of Allah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's al-kafiru, al-jahidu, li ni'mallahi,
Ni'ami.
ni'ami,
Okay.
Allahi.
Wouldn't, oh, are we saying al-jahid is a sifa? Or are we saying it's yeah, it has to be a sifa because of the alif lam.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I would
Is
It
agree.
it
matches kafir, al kafir.
Mhm.
is that a thing? Like, because isn't jahada is a verb, right? Um, jah like
Jahad as a
how do
verb,
you
but I was just trying to make you guys create the connection between the verb and then the pattern. But this is an ism.
but my point is you just have to know that like there's no pattern to follow to get to the ism from the verb, right? You just stick an alif lam in front or like
No, no. This is ism fa'il. This is the pattern ism fa'il.
oh I
Fa'il,
see. Okay.
right? Like
Yeah,
nas like nasara means to help. Nasir means the helper.
I see.
Jahada means to reject. Jahid is the one who rejects.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. I think the next word is al-mukaddibu, or would it be mukaddib? Yeah, I'm assuming this is ism fa'il. So mukaddibu.
What does mukaddib mean?
Like the one who lies, or I guess the one who
Yeah, mukaddib.
yeah.
Kadib is liar.
Okay.
Mukazzib is re someone who rejects.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. So we should like when we see mukadhib, we should automatically think uh it's not form one. It's not like if it was a form one ism fa'il, then it would look like it would look different. But this
100%. It's a
is
completely different pattern, right? It would say
yeah.
kadib al-kadibu fi yawm al-hisabi wal jazai. That means the one who lies, right? But
And
al-mukaddib means reject.
and we're saying it's mukadhib and not mukadhab because it's the ism fa'il, right?
Very
And
good. Yep.
so
Mukaddab would mean the one or the thing that is rejected.
yeah.
But we're talking about the rejecter of.
So this would be like the rejector of biyawmil hisabi wal jazai. Um,
Day
so like
of like the day of like reckoning, I think he said, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
like
what does hisab mean?
Count like
Accounting, yeah. Hisab
counting,
means to take account of something, right? For the day of reckoning, essentially. Yeah.
and jaza is like the punish or recompense.
Yeah, does that it can mean multiple things. It can mean outcome, which is neutral. It can mean reward, which is obviously positive, and then it can also mean punishment. But oftentimes it's used as does that it's used as like a positive outcome, like for reward.
Mhm. Okay. Is the elephant bad like before? It's just the two separating it into two groups, basically, like A and B.
Say that one more time.
The like the
Yes, yeah, yeah. It's like doing a bullet points, like or one, two, three. That's how they usually just use the alphabet.
okay, okay.
pretty cool.
Okay, and then so the next one it would be al munafiqu because it's also going back to the Homa, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And then alladhi the
You guys should know what this means. Boy, we've seen it before.
Story, right?
Not authority. I think you guessed that last time. That was funny. That was an answer. What does maqsad mean? We have it in Urdu as well.
it's like the intent or like
Very good. Okay, so it's the same thing. In Urdu, it means maqsad means your goal, your intention, right?
Mhm.
Your purpose. Same thing here. Qasad, qasd means your goal, your purpose, intention, so on.
Yeah. So it would be لا يقصد or يقصد.
I think it's يقصد, but you can double check in the dictionary, but just do that later. I think it's يقصد. قصد يقصد.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, لا يقصد آه، بأعماله.
Don't add an alif after the meme.
Oh, yeah, بأعماله
Yep. What does that? بعمله mean?
of like actions or deeds. So the one who does not intend for his actions
With his actions.
or intend with his
With his
action.
action, to be more precise.
Yeah, with his action. What wajhu?
So the word
Um
is wajhun. Does anyone know what this means?
it's like for the sake of.
Um,
That's just context.
yes.
Using
Yeah, you're
context.
probably going through context clues.
Yeah.
Literally, wajh means face, like our face.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
thought, but I didn't know how it would work in the sentence.
you should have said it. You should have said it. But now that's what it literally means. Now, how is it used? When you say wajh Allah, you mean you're not talking about the face of Allah. You're saying the pleasure of Allah.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I remember this from Sir Yusuf.
And if you want to make a super abstract connection between the literal face and pleasure, you would probably go something with like when, someone is pleased with you, they're facing you, they're giving you attention. So that's probably some sort of connection there between the literal and the figurative.
What did amali mean? Bi'amalihi?
Amal,
Um
do you know what amal means? Amal means action.
so it's like for the action. So the one who does not intend with his actions to please Allah.
Yeah, he does not intend the pleasure of Allah through his actions. Like he's not acting for the sake of Allah, essentially.
Mm. So then
Wait, so then wedge is the maf'ul bihi, right? Does not intend yaqsidu, and then wedge Hallahi, I guess. Is that what you have?
yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about what the grammatical role of which would be, but maf'ul bihi makes sense. Going back to yaqsidu. Or I
Good,
guess
right? Because what is
yeah,
being intended here, or what is not being intended
to please Allah.
here? Yeah. So that's the maf'ul.
And then Allahi is then mudaf ilayh because it's like the pleasure of
Yeah.
Allah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me also teach you guys like a kind of like a certain etiquette while doing grammatical analysis. Whenever we come over the word Allah and we're speaking about the word in a grammatical analysis, right? We're saying that the word Allah is in the state of XYZ, right? We don't actually say Allah is the grammatical rule, right? Um, but the etiquette is to say lafzul jalala is fa'il, is maf'ul bihi, is mudaf ilayh. Okay, so we say lafz al jalala. Let me write it down for you guys. Okay, so in this case, for example, you would say, and the lafzul jalala, lafz means word, jalala means majestic, right? Majestic, glorious, and so on. The lafzul jalala is, or yeah, you would just say it is whatever it is, right? The mudaf ilayh. And that it's like a high level of etiquette and respect. It's not like a grammatical rule or anything like that. But if you did say that in front of like a scholar or something, they would be quite impressed. I'm
I don't
putting
know
you
how
guys
much
on game here, man.
I'm bumping into scholars.
Well, inshallah, one day, you'll be reading something to a scholar. That's the hope, right? In some sort of situation. Higher, inshallah, in your higher level studies. Or in like, if you guys are under another teacher, then, I need to make sure that my students are creme de la creme. So it's funny because once you are studying, you actually do represent your teacher. And it's something that you don't really think about like in level one or two or three, because it's like just like an online class at that point. And it's like, oh, I've only taken a couple of hours of class with this teacher, but at your guys' level, you guys are actually representing me, and it reflects my work. Not that I'm not saying ownership or anything like that, but it reflects my quality of teaching. So if you guys have weaknesses, it's actually my fault. Um, anyways, it's just interesting. It's a perspective that you don't really think about until you're like a teacher.
Are we on the last part or
Yeah, so bal yarai.
So this is going to be form three, which we haven't learned yet. This is going to be yura'i. Yura'i.
What does that do to the mean? Because the root word is to like to see, right?
Yeah. So this is this means to boast.
To boast.
Yeah.
So like to show off kind of.
Yeah. Do you guys know the Arabic word for boasting or showing off? Starts with a ra. Maybe you guys heard of it. Riya. You guys have heard of riya before, and maybe in like a speech or anything like that. So yeah, riya is the masdar of yura'i. Okay, that's where that comes from.
Got it. So then يراعي في أعماله وصلاته.
And funnily enough, riya and jihad are on the same pattern.
Mm,
Jihad, riya'un. Jihadun, riya'un. So jihad is form three, riya is form three. But anyways, keep going. What
interesting.
happened?
يراعي. So then that's like
would
al-
Amal sorry, Amal is just uh like actions or
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, it's
broken
like
plural of amal.
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah.
That's
So
funny.
it's
You know
like
the plural, but you don't know the singular.
um but bal is it's like but, right? Or rather.
Yeah, but or rather, yeah.
Yeah, rather he boasts in his actions and his prayer.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys see any form fives?
Yeah, for تحدثت, the top.
Very good. Okay. Okay, let's continue to the next passage. You guys can fill out these yourself as homework.
Yeah.
The next question.
الفريق الأول is like the first group, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so let's just can someone summarize for me or like translate the first passage for me?
Um, this is a Meccan surah. Um, it speaks, indeed, it speaks in brief about two groups of mankind. They are the kafir, uh, the kafir that reject the blessings of Allah. Um, Forgot what mukaddaba was.
It's like also
And
the
did
one.
was it?
Yeah, al-mukadhibu is to reject. The one who
Oh yeah.
rejects. Sorry.
And they reject the day of accounting and reckoning.
Uh-huh.
So that's the first group, and the second group is um munafiq. Did that mean
What does munafiq
dis
mean? Ma3oon?
disbeliever?
Not disbeliever.
Hypocrite.
There you go.
Okay. So uh hypocrites, those um who do not intend their actions for the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but rather boast about their actions and prayers.
Yeah, so that they do not intend the pleasure of Allah in their actions, right? Basically, they do not do it for the sake of Allah, but they do it for the sake of the people. Okay, so group number one is the straight up disbeliever, right? He straight up rejects. That's the first group that's being talked about. The second group is the hypocrite that believes in Allah, but does not, his actions are not because of Allah, but it's for boasting of Allah. Now let's continue forward.
What is Emma? Is that also like a certainty or to emphasis or
This is not emphasis. So this is amma. Amma means about. So it's kind of like saying, so about the first group, blah blah blah, blah. And then amma al-fariq al-thani, about the second group, blah blah blah, blah.
okay. Okay, so أما فريق أول
الفريق الأول.
is or it's a خبر and
Yeah, we'll talk about what it actually is, but that's like one way of saying it.
okay. من فقد ذكر is ذك um so it's فقد ذكر تعالى ذكر I don't remember what ذكر means. I know it's like ذكر, it's like remembrance, but
Okay, so that's it. Yeah, remembrance.
remembrance.
But so what's confusing about that? If you remember dhikr, then why do you not know what dhikr means? And I'm
No, because
asking
I was
this
just
so
looking at
that,
it in the context because it's like what who it's a fact it's a fair but then where's the like what is it referring to? Because it
okay,
has after
but as a fi'al itself, now you know it
in
means to
itself I know.
remember or to mention,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Um so ذكر تعالى من صفاتهم or صفاتهم.
Yeah, you guys know what this means. What does that mean?
Um
Slip, Slipat, does that sound familiar?
yeah, صفة is like this descriptor, but in this case it would be min
So what is slifa and what is slipat?
attribute
Yeah,
Plural?
attribute.
yeah.
Sound feminine plural?
Yeah, sound feminine plural, very good. Yep, and it's attributes, right? Descriptions, attributes, characteristics, however you want to describe it.
And then ضميمة ذمي صفاتهم um,
Okay, so you got so far you got the me. Now you're
mhm,
curious about the meme, that last meme, right?
mhm.
Okay, what's right after that meme?
um تاء مربوطة.
Okay, so let me give you a rule. Every single time you see a ta marbuta,
The
okay, I hope
فتحة.
I'm right about this. The one before it has a fatha. Okay, muslima, mu'mina, qanita, right? All of these, there's a fatha on the letter before it.
So it'd be ذميمتي.
Uh-huh.
I
ذميمتي.
had I had that ta'ala here was mudaf ilay because like remembrance of Allah. Does that make sense?
Sorry, say that one more time.
I said that ta'ala here was mudaf ilay, like remembrance of Allah.
So one of the signs of a fi'al is that it's preceded by a qad. So now we know dhakara is 100% a fi'al. There's no getting around that. If that's a fi'al, then it can no longer be mudaf.
So
That makes
تعالى would
sense?
be the fa'il. It's like referring to Allah Ta'ala.
Essentially, yeah, essentially. Ta'ala is actually another fi'al, right? So what do we say? We say Allah Ta'ala, right? That it just means like it's like a out of respect for Allah, right? The one who is the most elevated, the one that is elevated Allah among like over everything. So what's happening here is that you can think of it Ta'ala as in parentheses. And Dhakara is saying he mentioned. So now there's a he mentioned, right? But you want to add the Ta'ala out of respect. So you can either think of the ta'ala as kind of like like a fa'il, pseudo fa'il. But if you want to be actually proper, then you would say ضمير مستتر هو in
Mm,
ذكر. That's the fa'il. Because ta'ala is not an ism, right? So how can a if it's not an ism, then you can't be a fa'il.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because
So what is the verb here? What is the fi'l here then?
he remembers like ذكر.
Okay, so it's
No,
form one
over
dhakara.
here it's not remembered. He mentions. He
He
mentioned.
mentions.
Oh, dhakara can mean mention. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and then ta'ala is another fi'il, but it's just like a parenthetical statement essentially.
Mhm. So then من صفاتهم الذميمة. So that's referring to some like the mimati is describing their attributes. I'm assuming that means like they're like greatest, or what is the mimati? I can look it up.
Yeah. What do you think from context? We're talking about the first group, right? So do you think it's a positive or a negative?
I'm assuming positive because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning them.
Well, Allah
Uh,
subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions both, right? He mentions
that's
the
true.
kafir, he mentions the
That's
mu'min,
true.
right? It doesn't really matter. Let's go
Uh,
back to the first. Who's the first group? So never forget the context that you're reading the sentence in, right? It's like a really common mistake that we tunnel vision. That's fine.
it's
But let's
true.
go back to the first group. The first group is
Though, oh yeah, it's the disbelievers.
the disbeliever, right? So it's gonna be like negative.
So it's a
The
negative.
mima means like something that's like debased, disgraced. So it's
Okay.
like a negative, like they're very disgraceful attributes and qualities.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like basically saying that he mentions their disgraced attributes. He mentioned past tense. And then
Yeah.
yeah. And anhum yeah,
It's
you,
what is this? You said anhum? Is
yeah.
that even a thing? Anhum?
No. Uh,
In-home?
no, it would be like annahum or
There you go. Annahum. Okay. Inhum is not an option because the hamza's on top.
Yeah, it would have to
If it
be
was
a
on bottom, then they can be kasra. But it's either anna or unna. There's no such thing as unna, so it's anna. Okay.
yeah.
And what do you think about n here? This is what you're referring to. This comes before a fi'l.
Okay. So it'd be annahum.
That's not a ism. It's not a like a ism or ism inna, right? It's
What do
this,
you
this is
mean?
just that. This is just that, right? This is just
But there's no such thing as just that, right? It's anna, so it's going to have an ism anna and a khabar anna, right? Or are you talking about an? Which one are you talking about?
uh no, I'm talking I got confused because of the shadda, but I guess this is actually an
Yep,
which
sister
is
of
the
inna. Yeah.
okay, good. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So it's annahum and then yuhyi yuhinuna or yuhayin. I guess yuhinuna makes sense.
Okay, so for this one, I'm not going to tell you guys. Um, Also we're at time, so um, so instead, I want you guys to look this up. Think about okay, so think of it this way: what can it be? Find all the possibilities. For example, oh, it can be form one, it can be form five, it can be form 10. I mean, these are the different root letters. If there was this form, there's a different root letter without form. And then go and search the dictionaries and see which of those choices matches up the best. Okay? All right. So let's wrap up here. Follow 629. Um, I know we do step away for like 5 minutes per mullitive. I am available for the next 5 minutes. Are you guys still available? Zane, are you available for the next 5 minutes so that we can just make up for time or
I probably need to head out.
not? No, not a problem
I
at
can
all.
catch up.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll stop here. What we'll do before we end the class though is let's just quickly go through the homework for next time. And I've already added it here, right here. There we go. I don't know why I have an accent all of a sudden. Here you go. So this is the homework. So finish Surah Ma3oon, right? What we're doing right now. And then we'll go back to this guy, which we've done. Just open up what you've already done and filled out, and just reread the translation. The idea being that you've read the preface, reread the translation, and then hopefully everything will sit well together. Okay. So don't just use this as a way of studying the Arabic and the grammar. Also use it to study the actual surahs so that, when you do hear these surahs again, um, just everything will just click, inshallah. And then I'll be creating another unvoweled reader for Kota, and then I'll be assigning that. Okay. So I'm just going to write that preemptively here.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
All right. Jazakallah khairan for your guys' hard work. Inshallah, I will see you all on Monday. Are you guys coming to the Kitab conference? The Akbar conference?
I'm not, unfortunately.
Yeah, all good. All right. If there's no questions, then no other excuse. Thank you guys. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
There's like